All right, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever it is that you are. Welcome once more to another live stream of Alexandra Mayer's Live. Today, I am feeling really good. It is day 2 of me getting back into a daily workout routine. Before I decided to do this stream, I ran but around that lake that I showed y'all. Here it is behind me. Yesterday, I'm at the same park. And I did like a run walk. I think one lap around that lake is about half a mile, maybe a little bit more. So I went around there about 4.5 times. I felt like that was adequate. I didn't run the whole time. I did walk some also, but I'm feeling really good. That was my cardio for today. And today I want to do a little bit of yoga with some of you. And the reason that I feel like doing yoga today is because, for one thing, yoga is low impact, so it's very healthy. Actually, let me just sit over here for a little bit and talk before we get started. Because today we're going to talk about regaining access to your creative energy and your creative flow post substance use or substance abuse. And the reason I'm talking about that today, and I'm not going to say who I was talking to about this particular issue, but it was brought to my attention yesterday, and it's something that a lot of artists in particular struggle with when it comes to being an artist, but not being an addict of any sort, or an alcoholic rather. As many of you are aware, unless you live under a rock, quite a few artists and entertainers have substance abuse issues, or at least had them in the past. And the reason being is because whether it be alcohol, cannabis, marijuana, which is legal, but it is possible to abuse it, or a harder drug such as cocaine or heroin, all of those substances lower your inhibitions, all right? And a lot of artists and entertainers naturally are very shy, are often very critical of themselves, very self-conscious. Those are actually qualities that lead artists and entertainers to perfect their craft. But it also can be to their detriment when it comes to showing off their craft or whatever it is that they do sober. Hence why so many artists and entertainers become substance abuse users. It lowers their inhibitions. It helps them display to their full potential, not their full potential, but pretty close, whatever craft it is that they do. And sometimes if artists or entertainers don't take the time to self-reflect and address whatever internal issues they have that lead them to feel insecure, or that lead them to feel like they can't perform without the substance as a crutch, they wind up overly abusing the substance and, in many cases, dying from the substance. A lot of times when artists and entertainers wind up overcoming their substance use or abuse issues, they end up transitioning away from their art or their craft because they feel as though the only way that they could have ever done their craft was to use or abuse a substance. Also, they feel like, practicing their craft triggers them to want to relapse. But there's ways around that. As somebody who, in my own past, I had substance abuse issues that I've overcome. I understand. I felt for a long time that the only way that I could create decent art was if I was using cannabis. I felt for a while that the only way that I could do quite a few things that I do artistically was if I drank. So I still do drink here and there, but I don't abuse alcohol. I've never had a DUI, and nowadays I only really drink socially. And I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. Actually, today I felt so good running, and I was surprised I felt as good as I did, because the last time that I was running actively on a regular basis was when I was doing my marathon training not too long ago, before the COVID. And I hadn't I hadn't been completely clean and clear of cigarettes for probably not long enough before I started that marathon training, so I was really struggling. But I think this time around I won't be struggling. But anyways, I'm losing my train of thought. I was talking to somebody yesterday who was telling me that they didn't feel that their art was the same since quitting smoking cannabis. And the person was telling me that they don't create at the same frequency as they used to. They don't feel like their voice is the same. They don't feel like their creativity flows the same. And I suggested to the person, I'm like, have you tried meditating or doing some yoga or something to get yourself into a certain state of mind that's along the lines of the state of mind that you would get yourself into when you smoked cannabis? And I don't think he had. So today I sent him a video that was titled, that I found on YouTube, titled Yoga for Creativity. And I'm actually going to do some of these yoga poses and whatnot today. That's going to be the second part of my workout today, because I've never done this video and I just want to see how I feel after doing this particular yoga routine. But I just wanted to talk about that a little bit today, because exercise can tremendously help you get over any sort of substance use that you want to kick the habit of, or if you're trying to end your substance abuse. Because I mean, if you want to make it in life, and we all have our own particular paths, and it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to experience some of the negatives in life before you reach a positive point in your life. But in this world, if you really want to make it, if you want to succeed, you got to move fast. And if there's no reason really for you to use or abuse a substance, just don't. I like to tell young people, don't even start, don't even experiment, because it's going to be to your detriment in the end. Don't smoke cigarettes. Keep your drinking to a minimum. If you are going to drink, try to stick with something natural like wine, or something fermented like beer or sake. Stay away from the hard liquor, definitely. When it comes to cannabis, I feel like for medicinal purposes, it definitely helps certain people. It definitely does. I am not against cannabis use. I feel like it should have been legalized all across the board within the United States of America for a long time now. I feel like it's been utilized as a mechanism actually to perpetuate colorism and bigotry. However, when it comes to cannabis, a lot of young people nowadays are abusing it. I see people on, the IP2 network abusing it. People who are far too old and who do know better, really. And y'all know who I'm talking about. But I'm seeing a lot of young people abusing it, all this vaping. I mean, don't cut your life short, and don't hurt yourself needlessly. That vaping, it is bad for you. It really is. One of the side effects, actually, of vaping is that it minimizes your impulse control, meaning your ability to control yourself, your ability to motivate yourself, your ability to stop yourself from making bad or poor decisions. So, so I guess some kids think it's cool or something, but I think it's gross, personally. Don't do it. Don't vape. When it comes to cannabis, I think cannabis should be something that's kind of like a special occasion thing, unless you need it specifically for medicinal reasons, and you don't have to smoke it. There's other ways to ingest cannabis. But if you don't need it, you don't need to be smoking it every single day. it does seem to minimize people's ability to empathize with others. I've noticed that. It inhibits your ability to properly feel. It seems to make certain people less compassionate, and it definitely seems to make people fairly thoughtless and forgetful. So, keep your wits about you in life. Allow yourself to feel. That's part of what being human is really all about. And I guess that's about it. That's just kind of what was on my mind today. And now we're going to do some yoga for creativity. But yoga is very good. There's some people out there who are under the belief that yoga is satanic and that it's not of God, that it opens you spiritually. Yoga is not satanic. Yoga does open you spiritually. But it depends on what your intent is. If your intent is to do good energies are going to flow into and through you. If you have an agenda to do bad, to conduct evil in this world, then such energies may or may not enter you. But that's how every action that we do in life is all about our intention. That's why you got to be careful what you say and what you think, how you feel. If you're somebody who goes through life with good intention, wanting to help others, wanting to stand up for others, wanting to make the world a better place, good things are going to come to you. You're going to find yourself in a beautiful place. The sun's going to be shining in the sky. The grass is going to be green, and you're going to be in a good mood. You're going to look great. You're going to feel great, and you're going to attract good things to you. But if you run around with a chip on your shoulder, trying to get over on everybody, trying to put down others consistently, needlessly, simply to build yourself up, and if you constantly take from others and you don't give, then you're going to find yourself in a very dark place, a cold place, a lonely place, and a place where the only people who are talking to you are people who have the agenda of essentially seeing you kill yourself. So these are just things that I want my viewers to think about. I want my viewers to be people who are like myself, who are looking to be the best version of themselves, who are looking to improve this world. I know I'm gonna consistently have viewers who watch me for the wrong reasons, who are watching me because they either want to harm me, or who are trying to dig up dirt on me or find dirt on me, or are just up to no good. And to those people, some of those people I'm going to end up turning into people who are on my side. But some of those people who are trying to do bad by me are just going to end up attracting negative karma and are probably going to end up dead. So again, these are all things that I want my viewership to think about. So anyways, so this is the first pose, and this is kind of weird, but you just kind of got to think of yourself as like a little kid laying down. It's good to kind of rock a little bit on your curvature of your back. You're supposed to put your hands on the bottoms of your feet. And you just kind of pull your knees in. It's kind of a weird thing to do, but it feels all right. You just do that for a while. And then you can extend your legs up. Keep your back flat. Point and flex your feet. And the point of this really is just to stretch. I'm going to diverge a little bit from the video, I'm sure. whatever David yoga is doing is not exactly what I would normally do anyway. But what he just did in the video was put his left knee down and pull it toward his chest and hold it right there. And as you're doing that, your extended leg, you could just kind of swirl around your foot a little bit, stretch your ankle out. And remember, a big part of yoga, or stretching in general, is just to get the blood flowing in ways that it might not normally flow within your body. A lot of times, nowadays especially, so many of us work online and we become very stagnant with COVID and whatnot out there. A lot of us don't even go outside anymore, which is not healthy. But practicing yoga or just routine stretching on occasion does remind us that you need to take the time to breathe, to be focused on who you are, to realize that your body is a vehicle for your spirit. And you got to take care of your body because you only get one, at least so far. You know, you got some people out there who are transhumanist, or they believe in that. They think that we're going to be able to download our minds basically into our iPhones in the future. But I'm not so certain that's something that I particularly want. So take care of your body while you have it, while you can. It's about using it or losing it. Okay, so let's see what else David O is going to have me do today. Okay, well, this is good actually. Doing kind of like a cross. David's more flexible than I am. I don't know if y'all can see, but you're supposed to cross your leg and pull a little bit, but I have very minimal flexibility. And again, I'll put the link to this video in the description later on. I might actually end up re-uploading this video later, primarily because a lot of times when I live stream using my cell phone and not Wi-Fi for the data, the videos are choppy. So okay. And normally when you're doing these routines, you don't stop in between, but you know, I want to interact with y'all to a degree, so I'm stopping. A yoga routine typically is very flowy. You don't stop to rest. So, let's see what else he's doing on here. All right, a lot of times people end up with kinks in their back who sit at the computer for a long time, especially musicians nowadays, because a lot of musicians are digital musicians. You're always at a desk mixing or mastering or whatever. So sometimes it's good to just twist your body and hold it. Make sure you breathe as you do. You'll find as you take some deep breaths, you'll be able to extend that twist that you're doing. You'll release certain chemicals from your muscles by doing this. As you practice yoga in any pose, pay attention to your breath, your breathing rate. Helps you get enough oxygen, but also encourages you to be mindful and aware of who you are, where you are, how all of you is feeling at the moment. Take the time to take stock of exactly how your body's feeling, from your fingers to your toes. Part of why a lot of artists wind up over smoking, be it cannabis or nicotine or whatever, is because when you smoke, you tend to breathe more. But you don't have to smoke in order to breathe more. And a lot of people do find that practicing yoga is a very good replacement for the habit of, smoking something. All right, we're gonna get up. Actually, before we get up, we're gonna do, I guess some people would call this a cat-cow position. And if you're in the chat, welcome. I will look at the chat when I'm done, and you guys will get to have lunch with me, which you may enjoy, you may not. When I do yoga, I like to focus on back stretches because my back is where I tend to hold my stress. And when you're extending yourself, you may want to bend your knees a little bit, flex your feet. You'll actually feel the kinks in your body come out and come down. Walk it up. And you may want to end with a sort of sun worship pose. guess I didn't exactly follow the Yoga for Creativity video today. But if you want to check out what David O is up to, again, I will put that particular link in the description later on. Maybe this was stretching for creativity.